Is there like a way to turn that off? Wait, shift click to place several of the same type, R to rotate, control for free placement. A life changer. See, if only I had read the instructions once. Alright everybody, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Little Big Workshop with me, Spacefish. And welcome back to this almost empty factory now. As you can see, we have nicely proceeded actually finalizing our products in the last episode. There is just a few spots that need to be emptied still, and then we can finally follow through on my little plan of actually placing some additional shelves on these input zones here and here. And once that's done, we will most certainly get some more products going again for all these poor employees that are waiting away. Wait a second, are we waiting for these things to be curved? The thing is, right, I'm really not 100% sure where our bottleneck lies at the moment. Like, I'm pretty sure we do still have one down here, but I'm really not 100% sure what it may be. Are we missing a door right here? What the? I could have sworn we had a door in here the last episode. Like, seriously. We did have a door here, didn't we? The heck? Okay, like seriously, somebody please go back to the previous episode, check it out, and let me know, was there a door in this thing? Because I'm like 100% sure there definitely was a door in that, wasn't there? How did that happen? I'm so confused. Like, there's even a space still in there. How? Wow, okay, well, that thing out of the way then, I suppose. I'm not quite sure if we may need another one of these bending machines, because maybe that was the bottleneck. But again, it doesn't seem like much of anything is still being bent out here, so maybe not. I'm really unsure. We did obviously buy another, another one of these. What was it? Milling machines? Yes, another milling machines and another one of these scroll saws. So that should hopefully help out. Let's just see maybe on another production run off the catapults if that will be everything we do actually need to solve this bottleneck, or if we actually have an issue right here too. That said, I am now going to go in and go to basic and get a small shelf. Ah, it's snapping again. Okay, seriously, can anybody tell me why this super annoying, weird-ass snap is happening? Is there like a way to turn that off? Wait, shift click to place several of the same type, R to rotate, control for free placement. A life changer. See, if only I had read the instructions once. Well, that's good to know. So we're placing a small shelving rack right here, and we will be placing one right there in a second as well. Let's get the time playing again, though, because we are apparently receiving a phone call. Greetings. We just got the opportunity to collaborate with a famous furniture designer. We urgently need to create a set of prototypes for our upcoming chair series, and we need it done ASAP. Is it this? It's that thing again. Okay, I mean, the thing is, you know, why are these not being assembled? Can anybody let me in on the details right here? What's the issue right now? Hello? Weird. Very, very weird. I'm really not quite sure why these two assembly stations are not being utilized at the moment. Maybe that's just due to the way that this was still set up or something, but let's just fast forward time real quick, because I really want the space right here. Can somebody just pick these things up, please? That'd be great. Okay, now there we go. And let's go to basic, and then we'll finally start making some real money again. So free placement on all of that. That's going to go in there. And that now finally means that last few bits in our logistics are hopefully going to be ironed out rather nicely. So, with that out of the way, I would like to take a look at some new products, I think. Maybe that designer chair that he was talking about. We are not really getting that much money for it, but how's the reputation looking with them? Let me actually check that out. I haven't checked it in a long while. Client relations. We haven't heard back from him in like 5 bajillion years, so, well, okay. We're at max level with them, so we can really just take like the best contracts from them and ignore the rest, so I'm just going to ignore that. We do have Bros and Biceps as well, which I haven't done much of any work with yet. I would like to get something done with them, and these guys I haven't heard anything from yet, apparently, while I have heard from those. So maybe we can actually get the standard bicycle out there finally. We only need 7 units, so it's really not that complicated of a task. And it seems like these are all really not that worthwhile, so I'm just going to work on like increasing relations with these guys, maybe. Let's see if we have everything for it. I think we were missing the stitching last time, weren't we? And I did set that up, so in theory we should be covered on all these things. Let me just connect up all of these, and then we'll see, I suppose. So stitching was all the way up here. We have apparently not defined anything for this yet. What's actually interesting is that we're well within target specs for everything, so we can just go whatever design we really like and whatever cheap materials we really feel like using, so doesn't really matter what we pick there. So we could, for example, you know, go for some cheap mats right here and just test it out and just see what it would cost us, right? And this would, for example, end up costing us... Oh, wait a second. We are actually missing some... What is this? We are actually missing a workstation? What is that process that I... Oh, wait. No, don't do that. So, I mean, the robot testing station, yeah, sure, we didn't have that, I know. But what's that other thing that we're missing? Do we not have that yet? Oh, is this what we need, the tier 3 metal assembly? No, there we go. Metal extruder. Interesting. I never knew I was missing that. And that's absolutely massive as well. So maybe what I can do here real quick is I can actually remodel this to be a bit bigger. And, you know, I know, we are... whoopsie. We are going to get some issues with, like, room size and everything. And we're going to get, like, all... different kind of mood outbursts thrown at us. But I'm just going to place, like, I don't know, something else that's decent for decoration in this room and be done with it, to be honest. So let's order that, and then hopefully that way we can actually get that machinery into there as well. And, well, let's just pick something different to do for the time being then. So we do still have catapults, which... I mean, I've made a lot of these, and there's only demand for 31 units right now, so maybe not the best thing to do right now, to be honest, because like demand is going to basically plummet after I've sold those. So kitchen multi-tools absolutely not in demand. Mountain bike, low demand, low price. These things absolutely bad. Pretty bad. Do we have anything that's good? Is there anything good in here? Or we've got the banked model chair, which is like 27 demand, so we could sell a bunch of that. It's literally the only medium product that's do. I mean, we've got stuff like this. King Barbecue. Oh, that looks like a phase out load, doesn't it? I mean, that's maybe just a low demand point. Huh. We've got this drone, but we would need a robot testing station for that, wouldn't we? I would like to try like a barbecue. I think that's kind of sick. If we can sort of make it... with all the stuff that we have, I suppose. So let's try. I am going to go with this bar because it seems to be rather simple overall, and we will need a lot of style here. So I'm just going to go with cheap mats and see if we can make it work that way. You can go with wooden handles, so let's do that. That's giving us a good bunch of style on this thing. And what can we do here? This one is apparently the highest style, so let's pick that. Then we have to choose the carriage thingy, which is probably going to be pretty complex, to be honest. This one has the highest style potential, so that will be the thing of choice. But holy moly, yeah. So I mean, you know now why they call it an advanced production, don't you? But I mean, that makes it more interesting and challenging. So let's, take the challenge. Let's see if we can't make this happen. And we should have all this stuff out here. I would like to pick this wooden handle down here again, just to get more style points in for ourselves. Then, well, the wooden stands as well for even more fancy style points, and the wooden table. If that thing gets set ablaze due to all the style that we put into it, whatever, right? Jeez. Okay, so then down here we've got like more handles, and we can potentially get more style into it. So I'm wondering, can we just change this table down here again to like something metally and be happy? Yeah, we can. So maybe gonna choose something more like that then, to have it make some sense and not have like hot glowing charcoal on flippin' wood. Like, come on. I think that does look a little bit more sensible. And with that said, we've kind of assigned everything. We would get a profit of 1,800 per barbecue, which is very nice. And I think we could make like 10 for a start. Always remember to batch it, obviously. And holy moly, that's going to be a lot of stuff for me to connect. Like, God. Also, never really helps when these icons are in the way, I have to say. Kind of a bit annoying right there. But let's start connecting all these things up. I do feel, by the way, that with all these, with all this on-top space that we're now getting in metal assembly, we should maybe also consider doubling up on some of the other machinery, like, the bending thingy right here and the, well, sheet metal press, if that's what it's called. So like, probably you should get like another machine of those and get like billboards for it and stuff as well, if we can make that happen. The thing is, right, I'm pretty sure that overall there is no actual second debuff for room size. So like, it doesn't matter if the room is like big or super huge. It's like that there is no difference between that. So like, I am pretty sure that you can only go to minus 25 mood from that, and that would mean that we could potentially make the room even bigger. I mean, we can always just keep trying at that, right? And if we actually end up having like minus 50 or minus 100 mood because the room is like ginormous, then I suppose we can always scale it back down or just make it a second room or whatever. But for the time being, I suppose we could at least have a try. That said, all this tedious assigning of things is now done. Plan is created. Got our product right here, which does look pretty alright. I'm really looking forward to that. Let's get that going. Let's start production on all these 10 thingies. Let's just see how many employees we're going to use on that. Really interested to see. Does look like we still have... Oh yeah, we're right. Well, the products are not here yet. So let's actually get 4 workers assigned to this loading bay now, just to make the unloading... Actually, let's just make it 5, just to make the unloading process somewhat quicker for us. That was not what I was waiting for. I think that was the guy delivering the small shelves or something. Also going to deliver all these catapults, because holy moly, that takes up a lot of space. And, wow. We actually proceeded to another level, so that's very nice. Only going to give us 1 more research point, so unfortunately no progressing to tier 3 stuff there just yet. But with that said, all these mans should now be coming in, and they are getting stacked away very, very nicely out here. And, well, production is starting, and we've got, like, next to no workers that are not busy, apparently. That said, we're already at 10%. So that's pretty mad. I'm going to wait for these catapults to be sold, though, and then maybe we can actually get a second thing in the queue, because I do not really estimate that, even though this is a very complex project, I do not estimate all our workers to continuously... Oh, yeah. They're already unhappy about room size. But yes, I'm not really estimating all our workers to be consistently, like, wound up in this whole project, so... We can probably use them for other stuff too. Now let's see what we have in here. We've got the water thingy, we've got the candy thingy, we've got the flower box. We don't seem to have an arcade yet. So let's get the arcade. Gonna place that. I'm gonna place that right here for the time being then. Just order that so we can already get the mood boosted back up and people are happy again and everything. And there it comes, and sometime it's gonna be assembled and people are gonna be happy again. Perfect. That was my watch right there. I'm really, really sorry for that. There's always something in this room that I somehow forget to mute ahead of the videos. I'm really sorry for that. I don't even know how I managed to do that. So, we are starting to get our first few idle operators, but before I will actually start a new project, I think it may be worth actually just moving things about the place a bit. So, I am just going to be moving these things all the way to the back here and placing those there. We will be getting the billboards lined up right here, maybe? And this door placement is honestly not too optimal, because these zones, I would like to get some... Let's move this to over here, and we can maybe have the door over here instead, and I can actually expand the storage zone outwards a bit to kind of supply all these different zones a bit better. I would really like to change that a bit. Radio can probably also be moved to like right here instead. So then let me actually change the positioning of the billboard for the time being. Gonna move that over here. And well, as you all can see, we've got a lot of space left over here right now, so I think it is now time to order some more machinery. First and foremost, obviously the metal extruder, and holy moly, does that take up a lot of space. It's absolutely mad. Kind of inefficient too, the size that it has. But let's see, what would the mood be at here right now? 8. Wow, okay. Wow. So no space for more machinery at the moment then, unless I put more stuff in there. I think it's fine for the time being. Let's just get this one tool that we really badly wanted. I'm going to work on now remodeling the room with like placing a door right here. Perfect fit, by the way, so that's nice. And demolishing the other. Just going to order it like that, and then, well, then I'll be resizing these zones by a bit. Or, well, probably actually going to be moving this thing to over here and then resizing that outwards a bit. So, that said, look at all this. That's our first barbecue carriage thingy, and he's just lifting it like it's nothing. Absolutely awesome. Oh, there's actually no way. That's our first barbecue already assembled right there. King Barbecue. And out we go to the delivery zone. Very, very fancy, isn't it? I love it. I just love this little... I love the graphics in this game. It's like so... I don't know. Made so lovingly, you know, with a lot of character to it. I think it's pretty great. But yeah, so we are getting our first King Barbecues assembled right here. As you all can see, all this work on the assembly zone really paid off. Like, look at this. First things first, we've got this nice thing just with all the things stacked away very nicely, you know. Very nicely sorted and everything. We've got a lot of space left in here, and these guys are working away like mad. Like, we are getting these things assembled so quickly. There's literally next to no intermediary products even stored in here. So, pretty cool, I would say. That said, 8 operators that are not doing a single thing. I think that's pretty unacceptable, so let's go and do something about that. The office desk does seem to be set for a decent price increase. Demand is going down, but like as long as the price goes up, I suppose that is somewhat fine. So let's make like, I think we can make like 15-ish of these somewhat safely without having to worry about it too much. It does look like I've somewhat got some of these things assigned, maybe not. I'm really not quite sure, but we do need a lot of style on this, and this seems to offer a lot of style, so let's choose that for the time being. And yeah, I can definitely not go for the cheapest materials all around. I would probably go into, well, let me just assign these things for the time being. We've got 15 here, 15 there, 15 there. Actually, we've got only one. Okay, so you start with OSB boards right here, and then I'd probably go OSB boards right here and OSB boards right there. Yeah, okay, so that gets us to where we want to go with this office desk, exactly spot on for the target. Let's go and, woo, where am I even at? Let's go and assign this. All these things once more. I don't know, I have to say, I would kind of love to see some kind of way of making the whole assignment process a bit more simple. I mean, I do get that you really only need to do it once, and then you can just keep it for future productions, unless you change anything about your whole tool setup. But I feel that it's still a bit slow and very, very much clicking, so I think that could be optimized a bit. But overall, I think it's pretty fine regardless. So let's get these things rather out here, get that set to execute, and hopefully get all these people a bit busier again. I think we can probably even take like a third project, potentially, maybe. Not quite sure, to be honest. Given that we've only got like 6 idle operators, maybe not as much. But yeah, so I would really, really, by the way, fancy to be able to get this. But I think, I'm not really quite sure. Maybe we should actually get this before we get tier 3 stuff. Because we are still bottlenecking out on workers. Like, I've got so much money, I could make this factory massive. Like, I could probably extend it all the way, like, out here with all the money that I have and build, like, more and more rooms and, like, more break rooms and everything. But just don't have the worker capacity to even back that up, so it doesn't really make much of any sense to do that for me right now. So, that's why I'm not really doing that, and I think, well, while tier 3 stuff is very interesting, very cool, and I certainly want to have it, I think the more logical choice at the moment is to actually just be able to get more workers, especially with like all the amounts of money that we're making now. We could reinvest if only we had more of them. So I do think that is something for me to consider for the future overall. For the time being, not really much that I can do about it, given that I don't even have the research points. Now, I don't know, like, the thing is that the market is really not too great at the moment. Like, there's a few things like this thing that's locked that are somewhat going the right way, but other than that, like, my beloved catapults are just dropping out of the sky right now. Nobody wants to have them anymore. Mountain bikes, not really too profitable either. Like, I don't know. Well, actually, the wide draw does seem to be developing rather nicely in the near future. So let's maybe plan that product too. We should have everything set up for this. The only thing that I'm going to redo is assembly, because I'm not 100% sure. We already set that up, like, after the whole assembly changes yet again. So I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to make like 25, to be honest. I think that's pretty decent. Let's execute on that as well, and that should then hopefully keep the last bit of our workers busy. But look at that, we've already got 4 of these King barbecues assembled. I would say it's overall going pretty nicely, so I am pretty happy with it. That said, I totally forgot to take care of repairs. This episode does not really look like we're doing too badly overall, though, so that is great news right there. But I will, regardless, just start to schedule some repairs already ahead of time before, you know, whoop, trucker is stressed and we'll start chucking out the cargo. But yeah, so just gonna start there ahead of time with great OSB boards in the wilderness. With just repairing all these things just to make sure that nothing explodes on me again, because you all know that I have very much a tendency of forgetting about necessary repairs and things blow up on me, so I'd just rather take care of that ahead of time now while I'm actually thinking of it, even though it's maybe not like 100% necessary at that time. That said, look at that. It does seem like we are now assembling our final King barbecue. Let's sell those out to the open market. It's going to net us 25k from that, so that is absolutely awesome. I would actually like to get some more of these going. I thought that was pretty good. I'm just not sure if the market demand can actually keep up with that, because I think it was pretty low. That's why I decided, yeah, to not really make that many. I mean, the price is going down as well, but it's more over the longer term. And we've still got a demand of 19 units, so I think I'm willing to make another 10. Not going to make more than that. I think at that point, it's then time to look for something else. But I think that's pretty decent still. Challenges-wise, we've got the fancy office chair challenge. Only 15k reward though, like seriously. It's really not that good. Like we've had challenges from this guy for like 100k, if you remember. That's how he got this rich. But yeah, like 15k is really not that madly good, and as we're already at max relation with him, there's no reason to just say, okay, I'm just gonna take it to up the relation with you, because there's not going to be any improvement for us in that either, so I may as well just take my open market orders, you know, totally stash all my storages with that instead, and oh boy, he seems unhappy again. Well, it does look like we emptied him out in time, but yeah, so I just don't really think there's much of any sense in doing business that way. I may as well just take my market orders and, like, tinker with things my way, not be too worried about contract deadlines and whatever, when the contracts are not really that much more profitable for me anyways, right? Like, I don't know, he wants 15 of these, and I'm going to get 15k. Like, 15 of these are, I'm pretty sure, going to net me more than 15k, so not really much of a reason. These bikes, I would definitely like to take. Actually, that said, we do have the tool for it now, so maybe we can already get a production plan going on that, and, well, once like a product or two is done, then we can get that out on the open market. But that said, I do think that is something that we will then get going in the next episode. So, a lot of stuff done. Again, this episode, we did expand this nicely, got ourselves some fancy new tools, got all the production back up and running. Logistics is now finally nice and streamlined. Assembly is really, really quick. I will have to say, really happy with that overall, and the shelves have definitely already paid for themselves as well. That said, I am going to end this episode here, so I do hope that you all did enjoy it, and if you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. And if you're new around here, did enjoy this episode and would like to stay around for more, also definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, as well as the bell icon right next to it to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. That said, as always, I would like to thank you all very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.